Hey there, welcome to this episode. This is going to be a general overview of effects, part 1, for beginners on the MPC. In part 1, we're going to take a look at locations, and in part 2, we're going to look at tweaking parameters and that type of thing. There'll also be more advanced tutorials later down the line. But for now, we need a good understanding of the basics, and I think for new users coming into the MPC world, the location of those effects and how they're applied can be really confusing because they just pop up everywhere. You'll find whatever menu you're in, all of a sudden, there's another menu where you can access effects and apply those effects. So I want to break that down for you so that you can see how it works. We have a basic project, one track. I want to keep it really simple. For that drum track, 3 drum sounds. Nice and simple again. 3 basic drum sounds. It doesn't matter what the sounds are, but I need something on a track level and I need something on a pad level. That's where we get into our levels. Now, I highly recommend as a new user, you should check out the channel mixer and the pad mixer episodes before this because it will make more sense, but hopefully there's enough information here to get you by anyway. On those episodes, I spoke about how when you use these little channel strips from your main page, it's a sneak peek, it's a preview into those menus without having to go to the actual menu. So if I choose my track level, this gray one here is the master channel. If we go down to a track level and I change the volume, and then we go over to the channel mixer, you'll notice as long as we're on volume, I've changed the volume of that particular track. So it's connected, that's how they're all connected. If I go to main and we change this view using these little tabs, where we move from seeing our master channel and the track, but we move down to seeing the track and then a pad level. And for pad 3 as an example, I choose this one and I drag the volume all the way down and go into the pad mixer this time. On a volume level, you will notice it's been brought all the way down. So it's nice and simple to understand that they are connected. What you're looking at on your main page here is a preview into those bigger menus. Saves you some time because sometimes all you need to do is a simple tweak. You don't want to have to go all the way into those menus. You can just open it up here and take a look. And that's how we look at our levels. What I'm quickly going to do, I'm just going to select these, and I've shown you this in another episode. You can double tap and double tap again and just reset these volume levels. It's a quick way of doing it. I'm going to move back so that we're looking at our master channel and the track level first. So for our track, we have our main output and we have our master output. That's how I look at the 3 levels, the master output being the king. It even kind of calls it the king on the MPC because you have a little bit of a crown. That's everything. So let's look at how you apply effects and how they have an effect to the next level. So we'll go here and we'll choose anything, can be anything out of this list. The effects we'll get into in more detail in further episodes, but for now, I'm just going to choose a random delay. You will hear, because it's our master channel and our track is going through the master channel to the output, that all of those effects can be heard at the same time. If we go in here and you can delete it using the little bin icon, I can do the same thing and apply it on a track level. Same delay. Because we're doing this on a track level, we still hear that effect applied to everything because it's everything inside of this particular track. If we do the same again, we open it up and we delete it, we move with this little icon where we can take a look at things on a pad level. This time, I'm going to choose a specific pad and then I'm going to apply that effect. And it's the same delay. You'll notice it's only applied to the snare. It's all basic stuff. It's things that make perfect sense. But it gets confusing because you see these options time and time again. So we already know that if we move over and we take a look at, say, like the pad mixer and we're in effect view, I will see for this particular pad, there's that effect. It's in the same place that we put it. It's not separate. It's not a different location. And another place that you will find them is if you go back to main, when you have your track, you have a track edit or a track editor. And we will also find that effect inside of this menu as well, particularly if you're over on the effect tab. So we can see the sample. This is the snare drum and we can hear that effect. That's because it's still applied. And if you go over to effects over here, you will see it in this list. The list looks slightly different in this menu, but it's the same thing. We can actually change the location of that effect as well because it's an effect chain. So you could move it up and down to a different position. I could still edit and go into the effect itself. I can delete from here. I can delete from here. It's always doing the same thing. It's just because it's an MPC, there's multiple ways to do it. It's what is the reoccurring theme throughout this entire tutorial series. So let's go back to main for a second. We're going to go in here. Let's just delete this one back out. Let's go back to the master channel again, where we're looking at our levels. So I look at it like the steps. You master channel, you step down, so then you have your tracks, you step down, and then you get to a pad level. Let's look at some basic functions. And as I said, in part 2, we'll look at tweaking parameters and that type of thing. But for now, I just want to show you, we already know that we can load up, and we can load from a list of effects from the MPC. Some are free, some are paid for, but you get a pretty comprehensive list to get you going. So again, we could choose something, just choose something else randomly, an air compressor, select that one. That's the first one. For all of these levels, we have 4 effect slots. So you can see how quickly you can build up quite a lot of effects. I could add another one in here and could go back to delays and add a delay. We're not going to add all 4 to all of these. I just want to show you how that works. So let's add, say, another one. Could go into harmonics and add like the air amp sim. 3 effects, we'll stop there. We've loaded up 3 inside of this chain. As we saw inside of the track edit, we could move that position around so we can change the chain, the flow, the signal flow. We can do that here as well, because we can press this little icon with the arrow and it looks exactly the same as it looks when it's inside track edit, but we're just getting there from a different perspective, a different path. So we're going to just move these around if we like. We could open them up and edit, or we could delete. There's other functions, but we'll save that for other time. So let's close this down. So that's essentially the structure. That's how it works. You have your 3 levels is how I look at it, and you're going to find those throughout the MPC. They're not separate. They're not different. It's not something designed to trip you up or confuse you. It just means because it's an MPC, there are multiple ways to do exactly the same thing. In part 2, we are going to take a closer look at how you can tweak some of these parameters and things, and I'll see you guys there. Take it easy.